A one, a two, a you know what to do.
I saw Ma Rainey in the mid-'80s, whatever it was, '84, on Broadway. I just remember that night in the theater, the big speech that Chad makes, Charles Dutton had made, and then they go right to intermission, and I was like, whoa, what is this, and who is this, and why am I not in it?
Well, I first came to learn about August Wilson's work, and it had a profound impact on me when I was about 19 years old in college. An acting teacher came up to me and said, there's a writer that you need to know about. And she showed me Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, and I read it. Just leapt out of the page, and before that time, I absolutely was moved by the works of Shakespeare and Eugene O'Neill and Edward Albee and Arthur Miller, of course, but I was always trying to squeeze myself in it. But this one didn't take all of that energy.
If you don't know, Ma Rainey is known as the mother of the blues. So this is a story basically of her and her band coming to Chicago to record an album. At that point, she was one of the best-selling blues artists, probably the world at that point. And this is maybe later on in her career.
So through the course of this recording, you see how the time period, the great migration of all of us coming from the South to the North with that great promise of success and fulfillment has affected us.
So it's basically a story of her coming to Chicago, her and her band, to record this session, this album for Paramount. And we were basically looking at the relationship of her band members and the conflict between sort of the old and the new. Because you have Levy, who's the youngest and most recent band member. He's getting more and more into jazz. So it's sort of a transition period, like a transition period in America from, the 20th century, from the 19th century to the 20th century. We have this smaller microcosmic conflict between the old and the new.
What is you? I don't see your name in lights.
Oh, I just play the piece, whatever they want. I don't criticize other people's music.
I ain't like you, Color. I got talent.
Oh,
Me and this horn, we's tight. If my daddy had a known I was gonna turn out like this, he would have named me Gabriel.
Oh.
It is theater. It is theatrical. People are lyrical with language. And how can you translate that into film? And I think Ruben Santiago Hudson did a really beautiful job when it comes to the screenplay. But I think what we have to sort of find are these moments where we land, but moments when the dialogue just pops.
This sounds like a platitude, but I have such immense gratitude to be a part of these words. What's so special about August Wilson, not to reduce, there are so many things special about him, but like these stories don't have to be grandiose. They're just people living. It doesn't have to be this high stake, something traumatic, dramatic, us looking. It's like people living their lives like they were, like they do, like they are right now, then and now.
We have several Ma Rainey-esque stories that have yet to be told. And I'm just glad that Mr. Washington has come along at the time that he has, with the knowledge that he has and the awareness to bring this long overdue story told of this phenomenal woman and what her contribution has been.
It was hard for me to actually sit back and watch and not jump in, because it was the first time I was just the producer and not the actor or not the director. So that was an interesting experience. But needless to say, we were in great hands, and George did a fantastic job with everyone he put around him, all of his collaborators.
White folk don't understand about the blues. They hear it come out, but they don't know how it got there. They don't understand that that's life's way of talking. You don't sing to feel better. You sing because that's the way of understanding life. There is something about art that when you don't sometimes have the courage to speak your truth in your life, you can channel it through your art. And that's what I feel like she did. And she did it in a time period where we absolutely had a muzzle on us.
Viola is raw, and she's unapologetic and strong, and she knows who she is, and she gives a damn. She cares. And it's really refreshing. It's not, there's no games. We're telling a story, and She tries things, she plays.
Anybody who's watched her work from the stage now, to screen, knows that she's an extraordinarily transformative actor, and that she can step into whatever character she's playing. By being who she is and her skill, her craft as an actor, and her commitment as an artist to what she's doing, makes it easy for you to play opposite her.
I wanted to hire directors who are from the theater but have directed film or television. George knows so much about the history of music and specifically about that era. Just with what he did with all those background singers and the way they were sashaying and all of that. I wanted someone, and he was that person, who has a rich knowledge of music from all these different eras, and it's not an easy thing to pull off. I mean, that's a specific time, and he really brought that to life in an entertaining and an intelligent way.
The one thing that was stressed over and over and over and over was process. Was process, because when you have really skilled, gifted actors, they are bringing their muscularity already to it. And if you create a pathway where you're not censoring any impulse that they have, then they're going to start to bring their truths.
Working with George, I'm definitely going to walk away from here a better actor. There's freedom in making choices and sticking to them, but he also is constantly reminding you to ask why.
Friends of mine say, man, that's a lot of music for a movie. I said, welcome to the world of George Wolfe. And some of it, he just doesn't use it at all, but you're always on your toes. He always has you thinking because he's always thinking. He's really, really funny, and we have these barbs, like in the middle of the session, we're barbing each other, and everybody else is like, man, these guys like each other? Because it's always dry. But George and I, we go at it. It's fun. I love him. He's great.
Lily, what were you doing? Why are you playing all them notes? You playing 10 notes for every one you're supposed to play. Don't call for all that.
You're supposed to improvise on a theme. That's what I was doing.
You call that playing music?
Yeah, I know what I'm doing. Y'all back up and leave me alone about my music.
I done told you, it ain't about your music, it's about Ma's music.
Oh, that's all right. I already told you what to do.
What I care about what you and Cutler do.
Some people have a concentrated dose of life. It's like the old frozen orange juice that was in that little container. It's too strong, it's too good, it's too powerful. And in his case, it wasn't here long enough.
If you really want to know what Chadwick's essence is, just after his death, flying around on the internet was him writing about August Wilson. And when you read that, that's essentially everything you need to know about Chadwick, about what a keen observer he is, observer in human behavior, an observer in popular culture, which is the markings of a great actor to me. He did all of the stuff that you would have wanted him to do. Like, you can get a lot of actors and, when it comes to like working out to fit into a role, yeah, they're all into that, working out and getting buff and, they can have a shirt scene. But to take the time to learn how to play the damn trumpet, get the fingerings right, that's crazy. I mean, it was great. I will always, miss that kind of attention to detail and that kind of seriousness.
Beautiful work from him. Beautiful work. The depth of where Levy goes and how frightening that role is. He just went there, but I knew he could do it. Once again, look at me. I knew my baby could do it.
I don't try to suggest to people what they should get from it or what it means today. What it means is what it means to the viewer. And for each viewer, it's different. So I wouldn't limit August Wilson by suggesting what I think it means to today's audience. That's up to today's audience. So I just hope and pray that they all get a chance to experience it and enjoy it and make their own mind up about what it